left with just this word sa, starting with two S's. See? You can't start a word with a double consonant, so guess what happens to our Dagesh forte? You can't start a word with a double consonant, so that this form simply becomes sa. And the next form, feminine, becomes sa'i. And the plural becomes sa'u. And, oops, the feminine plural becomes sana. Okay, messed that one up. The problem, of course, is that when you see a word like sa, what do you notice? Well, the problem is you don't really notice anything here, right? There's no prefix, there's no suffix, there's only two root letters, and there's no clue for the missing third root letter, right? You got nothing. You got nothing. And that's why these are a problem. All right? Now, the fact is that this is the only form we've seen, and probably the only form we're going to see where you truly have nothing. Is perhaps some help if you remember that that form that has nothing is probably the imperative form. But now you're still stuck with saying, well, I got to figure out at least a root, all right? Theoretically, there could be a prefix here which would give me something. And if the prefix would give me something and tell me it's imperfect, and I've got an imperfect without the prefix, which is why I got nothing, then the something should be a clue that this was an imperfect that became an imperative, which is what I've got. Did that make any sense? Something about nothing.
Quite a trip.
Yeah.
Pack a lunch to get there.
So, but even if you figure out that this is probably an imperative form, you still don't know what root it is. Where's your clue that this is a missing first nun? Answer?
No clue.
There ain't one. Okay, there's no clue here. Now, before you panic and start running through the entire vocabulary list, looking for any root that has these two letters in it, remember this. What letters disappear? Right? I mean, we're working with a closed set here, okay? If you're going to just start guessing at random, at least try a first nun, a first yod, or maybe even a third hey. All right? So you're not without some good guesses, even if you're going to employ trial and error. This could be from a root nasa. Theoretically, I suppose it could be from a root yasa. Well, you don't get too far before you go, wait a minute, nasa, yasa, I do know this root. Or if you're still stuck, now you do start looking them up, but you might look up the wrong one, but you're not going to look up too many wrong ones till you stumble into the right one. So help thyself. Okay, that's first nun. Let's do first yod. What happens with first yod roots? What do we use? Yashav. Here's a first yod root. Yashav, right? What's the imperfect? Technically, we added the imperfect prefix to these, remember? And you should get something like ye, but in fact, you lose the first root letter. This is review of the first yod imperfects. Now you've got this vowel in an open syllable instead of being yik, which is what you'd have in the regular verb, yik. You've got ye, and it's an open syllable, so the short vowel lengthens and the herrick lengthens to saray, and you get yay. So that the imperfect form is yay shave. Remember this? This saray just is there because we started with sarays. It's just, sorry, can't explain that too well, but nobody else can either. So third singular masculine. Now let's get to the second singular forms. What's the second singular masculine form? Yay shave, tay shave, tay shave, right? Tay shave, tay shavi, plural, tay shavu, ante, shave, na. All right? Those are your imperfects of a first yod. What's the imperative going to look like? Well, duh. Take off the prefix, right? That leaves us with only 2 letters, shave. Is there a clue for the missing root letter? Well, not really, right? Your clue for the missing root letter was the serif under the imperfect prefix, right? That's the clue for a first yod when you have a serif under the imperfect prefix. Since we've lost the imperfect prefix, we've also lost the clue. So that once again, you only have 2 root letters and you're kind of stuck. All right? But again, even if you have to revert to trial and error, you see these 2 root letters, you have enough savvy to figure out this is an imperative form.